Welcome to the Team Ignite Weekly Training Call. This week, we are focusing on step 1 of the business wheel, Keep Paul's business wheel. We did 2, 3, 4, and 5 already, but we were waiting to do the sign-up process until the new website was launched. So this week, we are going to focus on that. And step 1 is when you join the company, what you do with the new person. So when they say yes, then what? What's the next step? The first thing is you want to find out what capacity they want to join in, because there's really 2 different paths in the sign-up process. They can either join us as a product user or as a business builder. And I know you guys or you gals have heard this before, but I just want to make sure that you really understand that there's really 2 different ways that they can come into the system, as a product user or as a business builder. So the first way is as a product user. And if they're a product user, they are going to join for $10 as a distributor. They're going to place an initial order of $150 or more, and they're going to sign up for an auto ship of $150. So why those numbers, and why not share about preferred customers? I know that's going to be the next question everybody's going to ask. So if you were having a meeting with somebody to talk about the business, it was a meeting, did I write was this? Oh, was this meeting a meeting to discuss the business? And do they want to get referral fees for people? Maybe they're ready to try the product, they're really not in that yet. That's the type of person that is going to sign up for this $10 distributor fee, because they're really just a product user. They might share with a few friends and family, they might share here and there, but they're not in this to have a business necessarily, but they wouldn't mind getting some of their stuff for cheap or for free. So we're still calling them product users. And the reason I wouldn't even say anything about being a preferred customer isn't because I'm trying to trick anybody. It's because you had a meeting with them to discuss the options for having a business. So it's really irrelevant at this point. So why $150? $150 is the threshold for them to be able to receive every bonus available in the company. Now, obviously, they're not all going to be able to do $150, but that's what we recommend to them, because if you start at the 150 point, that's where you can really, kind of see or gauge where they want to be in the business. And we're not asking them to spend $150 every month. Please don't think that's what this is. We're asking them to find $150 worth of products that they would like to begin using to transfer purchases from other parts of their budget. So maybe they decided that they want to get healthy and use the Healthy Body Pack. That's $118. Maybe they decided that they want a scrapbook and they want to do a bunch of digital books and they want to join the Gold Club. Maybe they decide that they are in love with essential oils and they want to try the AromaShare $50 a month club. Any one of those different packages can be part of this $150 order. But what you're trying to get them to realize is that there's so many other things that they could tag on here on a monthly basis. We have shampoo and conditioner that you're going to be buying at the grocery store anyways, so you could try ours. We have Rebound, which is a great sports drink replacement that we can add on instead of buying Gatorades or instead of buying Monster Energy drinks. There's Talon Burst. Instead of going to the Clinique counter at Macy's or Nordstrom's, you can grab some of our mineral makeup. So we're trying to help them realize that there are other products that they could put into this auto ship and into their initial order to get them to the 150 mark without having them spend any additional money. They're just things that they were going to buy anyways. So that is the product user. The second path is somebody that wants to join us as a CEO qualified entrepreneur. This is somebody that wants to come on and have a business with us. They want to put massive action into the business, and they're expecting to get some massive results from it. They're the people that would choose a CEO package. And there's several different ones to choose from, so your job in this meeting is to guide them to the CEO package that makes the most sense for them. And then to sign them up for that $150 auto ship right out of the chute. Now, not all of the CEO kits come with an automatic auto ship, so you have to watch. The oils in the MK Collab don't have an auto ship that are associated to them. So just make sure that when you go in there and you choose the CEO kit, that you set them up with their auto ship right then and there to make sure that they have that in place. If they have decided that they're going to be a business builder, their main goal one simple thing is to get their investment back in their first month. And the simplest way to do that is for them to find 3 people to join them as a CEO. That's really the only goal that they need to be focused on when they leave the meeting that you have with them. They sign up and they know that they need to find 3 people that are going to join them as CEOs, and that is their only goal at that point in time. We need to focus and not overcomplicate that first meeting, because there's plenty of opportunity for us to confuse them by handing them 20 different brochures and pamphlets and things. But really the focus is that they just want to go out and find 3 people and duplicate as fast as they can. So the sign-up process, where do they go and how do you sign them up? This is going to be the main portion of the meeting, is going through the flowchart that I created to show you how to do the sign-up and what questions you might ask to find out where you want to sign them up. You're also going to hand them some stuff at that meeting, but you're not going to hand them everything, because especially if they signed up as a CEO, they're going to get a lot of that in their CEO pack. And even if they just signed up as a $10 distributor, they're going to get a welcome pack that's going to have a lot of the catalogs in it. So you're just giving them some stuff to help guide them to the next point before they receive that in the mail. So if you have a business card, you can hand them your business card. If you don't, it's not a big deal. You can write your phone number, your email on a piece of paper for them. But you want to make sure that they have a way to reach you, phone number and email address. If you haven't already given them a Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD, you're going to want to give them one of those, regardless of if they are joining you for makeup or oils or scrapbooking or health. You want to give them the Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD, because they need to understand who Dr. Welch is and what Youngevity is all about. And you also want to make sure that they have that Youngevity Revolution brochure. This is the brochure that I think is one of the most important things to get them to understand overall what this company is all about. So hand them that brochure. And then if they're a business builder, you're going to want to give them the Are You Next compensation guide. If they're a $10 product user, I probably would not hand that to them on the very first meeting, because it's going to confuse them a little bit. So that one is for the business builder. The 5x5 marketing system brochure, you're going to for sure give that to the business builder, because it's important to get them set up to have the next meeting. So I wrote to use tomorrow at your next meeting. It might not be tomorrow. It might be in 2 days. But you're going to schedule a strategy session, and that's going to be step 6 in our process. This is step 1, the sign up. Step 2 was the list, helping them create a list. Step 3 was the invitation. Step 4 was the presentation. Step 5 was the close, and then the last step in getting them off to a solid start is that strategy session. But you're going to use that 5x5 marketing brochure. So it's a good idea to give it to them early so they have that in hand. And if they're super anxious, they can take a peek at it before you meet with them. And then you might want to give them a couple stick pack samples. That's completely up to you. I like to do that if somebody signs up as a CEO and I know they're dedicated and they really want to do this and they haven't tried a lot of the products. I might hand them, a Pollen Burst or Saxy or something. Or maybe you give them a Root Beer Belly, just something to, let them test out a product while they're excited and before their CEO kit shows up. This is the flow chart, and I know you can't see it here. I blew it up on the next slide, but it is a PDF file, and it's available. If you don't have it, I stuck it in a leadership Facebook group that I have. If you haven't gotten it from your upline, then you can ask them. We weren't sending it out to everybody because I didn't want to confuse people. So if you have somebody that's signing up and you really want to have this to kind of, exactly know where you're going to direct them, then just ask whoever your sponsor is, and they'll be able to share it with you. But I'm going to go through the process right now so that it's available for all of you to be able to see. Let me go to the next slide here. So we're going to start at the top. And the decision-making process really begins on trying to decide if you would like the person to sign up on the Heritage Maker side or on the Youngevity side. Now, if you didn't come into this business because of Heritage Makers, then there really isn't a process that you even have to go through, because on the Youngevity side, it's really simple. You just go and sign up, and boom, they're in the system. For the merge with Heritage Makers, there's a few more things that you have to think about before you put somebody in the system. So I wrote the big start here. So you ask yourself the question, is the distributor just Youngevity? And that would be, for those of us that came over, we have scrapbooking customers, so we might be meeting new people. So if you came into this business as a Youngevity distributor, or if you have met somebody that isn't one of your past scrapbooking customers, then the answer to that question is yes. And you just go straight to Youngevity, you sign them up on Youngevity, and they really don't have a Heritage Makers account. It's only created if they purchase a club or they manually set it up, but they might not ever need it, or they might not, I should say ever, we hope that they will need it at some point, but they might not need it right away. They're not going to have a Heritage Makers website to share unless they call. You call Heritage Makers, and then you can get a separate website to share. But again, they may not be interested in sharing that part of the business. If they're just coming in for Youngevity, then you sign them up on Youngevity, and everything is super simple. Now, if they are a past scrapbook customer or a new scrapbook customer that you've met, and they're not just Youngevity, that's where it might get a little bit more tricky. So that's where the no question comes in. And this is the big kind of central point, because even if they're a past scrapbook customer, if they're a past traditional scrapbook customer and they're not really digital, then they also go right to the Youngevity side, and it's pretty simple because they can buy all of our Memory True Life products on the Youngevity side as well. So you have to ask the question, will the new distributor mainly create digital projects? And if the answer is no, then again, they have simple. So Youngevity, simple, traditional, simple. It only gets confusing if the person decides that they're going to be mainly a digital scrapbooking customer. So I have some notes here. I'm just going to read this note to you because it might be a little bit blurry. It says, the Youngevity account is created with no communication to the new distributor. If they sign up on the Heritage Maker side. If they sign up on the Youngevity side, they do get a communication. But because I had to blow up this chart into two pieces, I just wanted to make sure that you could see this one. So if they sign up on the Heritage Maker side, the Youngevity account is created with no communication. So this is what I do, and I know it sounds tricky, but if you do it a couple times, it really isn't that bad. You are going to go into Youngevity, and you're going to look up their ID for them, and then you're going to send them a little welcome email, and you're going to share it with them and say, this is your Youngevity ID, and they aren't going to have any idea what their password is. I know this sounds much worse than it really is, but they aren't going to have any idea what their password is because their user ID and password is set up automatically, but because that email isn't generated right now in the system, it's just a little misfire that's happening. What I do is I go into the back office and I pretend to log in as them, but I click the forgot password link, so they're going to get an email to reset their password. So in that welcome email that I send them, I say, here's your new ID, and you're going to get an email to set up the password for the first time. So they know to go in there and do that. So again, that's only if they're signing up on the Heritage Maker side. If they're signing up on the Youngevity side, that all happens automatically. So now we're going to go over to here. And the reason I read that ahead of time was because it was going to get cut off in this. I was trying to blow up this chart for you guys. So is the person mainly digital? If you say yes to that question, you have one more question you have to ask. Is that new distributor that's mainly digital going to want to share the digital business immediately? And if they say yes, they have to sign up on Heritage Maker. And the reason is because the only way you can get a back office in Heritage Makers immediately is if you sign up on the Heritage Maker side. Otherwise, you have to call Heritage Makers, and they'll set you up with one. But it doesn't happen automatically. So let's say that you're at a weekend retreat on a Friday night, and somebody decides that they really want to go gangbusters with their digital business. That's when I would ask them, you know, do you have people that you want to share with this weekend, or are you going to wait until next week to share it with people? Well, hopefully the answer is they want to share it right away, so then you would sign them up on the Heritage Maker side. So here's what happens on the back end, and I hope I'm not confusing you all more, but what happens on the back end is when you sign them up in Heritage Makers, a communication manually has to happen with Youngevity. And it happens only on business days because it's something that a person does, and they have to be in the office to do it. So let's say that you sign them up on a Friday. That manual push does not happen until Monday afternoon sometime because they're 2 hours behind us on the East Coast. So Monday afternoon, they're going to manually push this new Heritage Maker sign up into the Youngevity system. And when they manually push them over there, that trigger to send the email out doesn't happen. So your new distributor received an email from Heritage Maker saying, hey, welcome, here's your Heritage Maker's ID, here's your back office, here's all your information. But the trigger never happened on the Youngevity side because it was manually entered in there. Now, if you sign them up on the Youngevity side, again, the trigger automatically happens. They get an email that says, welcome to Youngevity, here's your ID, here's your back office. There's just that one small missing link that happens if you sign them up on Heritage Maker. Now, if the person tells you that they don't plan on sharing their digital website immediately and they can wait until Monday or Tuesday, then you can still go ahead and sign them up on Youngevity. But the trick is you don't want them to buy their club over on the Youngevity side because that also has a manual push backwards to Heritage Makers. You want them, as soon as they get into Youngevity, to go to Heritage Makers up on the top where there's a link that says sign up, and you want them to join as a customer and link their Youngevity account. They're going to buy club then on the Heritage Maker side because they're going to get their points deposited into their account immediately. And then Monday or Tuesday they can call customer service at Heritage Makers and they can activate that back office for their new website. So I tried to write down an explanation here, and I'm going to read it to you again because I think it's a little bit blurry. But it says, anyone who wants to join as a distributor on the Heritage Maker side has to wait for a manual process to run and push their information to create their Youngevity account. This can be up to 4 days if they sign up on a holiday weekend. They cannot order Youngevity products until during that time, until they're in there. So if you go this route and know that this person's a digital distributor and that they're mainly going to do digital stuff, and they decide that they want to order the mineral makeup or a healthy body pack, they're going to have to wait until Monday or Tuesday to order it because they will not have a Youngevity account yet. Anyone who buys clubs, which is basically a Heritage Maker's auto ship on the YGY side, has to wait again, possibly up to 4 days, to have their studio points deposited into their account and start a project because it's, again, a manual process backwards. So if they sign up on the Youngevity side and they want to hurry up and work on a project, that's where they need to have that. They need to go in as a customer and sign up and buy their club on Heritage Makers so it happens immediately. And then the Heritage Makers back office is not created when someone signs up on Youngevity, so phone calls needed to get the distributor, their website. So I hope to goodness that I didn't confuse everybody on here like totally crazy. If you guys, can somebody just type in real quick and tell me if this makes sense or if this confused you even more? Hopefully if you read through the flow chart as you're working with the person, that it will make sense to you, the way that you would go through that process. So if you have any questions about this flow chart or about where you would sign somebody up or how you would sign somebody up, go ahead and type the questions in right now. Right, give me a second to read them. So far, everybody's saying they're okay, so maybe I didn't confuse you. I tried really hard to be really detailed in this flow chart so that you could go through it step by step and you'd be able to see exactly what it means. All right, it sounds like you guys are good to go, so that's awesome. All right, I'm going to give you a little trip onto Youngevity so that you can actually see where this stuff happens. So, well, first I'm going to go on to the Heritage Maker side and show you where the sign up button is. So if you were a new person that signed up on Youngevity and you got your Youngevity ID, but you wanted to share some Heritage Makers with them, this is the link that you would click on to do that. The same one the customers would click on, but there it is, this, right here that you have to see. Are you a Youngevity member? Use the exclusive Youngevity sign-up form. You want them to click this and then scroll down and put in their Youngevity ID, whatever it is, and their Youngevity password, and create an account. So it's going to link then their Heritage Makers and Youngevity accounts together. And then they don't have to wait, and they can come in here and buy club immediately. Any questions on that? Now, if they're signing up straight away on the Heritage Maker site and they're not already in Youngevity, the sign up is right here. I'm not logged in. Go to my space. You're going to send them to your site, and they're going to click this button that says Join My Team. And when they click this one, it's a different screen that pops up than the sign up button. Become a consultant and sign up is connecting a customer, a free account, with your Youngevity ID. So those are the two places in Heritage Makers that you're going to send people to. On the Youngevity side, you are going to send them. Waiting. I'm going to have to log back out. You're going to send them up here where it says Join. So you go to the Youngevity side, and you ask them to join, and it's going to launch the BuyYG Live website for you. And this is actually a great thing that pops up here to warn you, because I'm already logged in. So it's going to warn me to log out. You don't accidentally sign them up to buy an enrollment product under your ID. So give it a second. Well, it's refreshing here. Okay. So I'm not going to log out right now because I'm not actually going to buy anything. But once you're in here, you're just going to direct them to purchase one of the CEO kits, or if they decide they don't want a CEO kit and they just want to join your team like we talked about as a product user, down at the very bottom is the $10 new associate adventure pack. And so this is the $10 option for them to join. So that is how you sign up. All right, we can go back over here now. And again, this PDF file, for those of you that popped on late, is available from, I put it in our leadership Facebook group, and I'm going to post it out in the Team Fusion site. I just want, Lisa Nelson's taking a look at it right now, and I think she's going to put it out on the Team Fusion training site too, but we might have just a couple more tweaks to it, so, but we can send it to you as is. Okay, so here's the big question. What if you picked the wrong flow? Oh my goodness, I signed them up on Heritage Makers, but I should have signed them up on Youngevity, or I signed them up on Youngevity and I should have put them in Heritage Makers. It's okay. Everything will resolve itself on the next business day. There is no necessarily wrong way to do this. It's just a timing issue. It's not going to mess anything up permanently if you sign them up on either side. It's just a timing issue. So on the Friday night, if you have somebody that's anxious to work digitally and to buy healthy body products, they might have to wait until Tuesday if you sign them up the wrong way, but it isn't the end of the world, so you don't have to panic that you've messed anything up for the rest of that person's time in Youngevity. It's just a timing thing. And the flowchart's just meant to help guide you to make decisions in the right path that's going to make it easiest for you right when you're with that person. But it isn't the end of the world if you sign them up the wrong way. So what are the next steps when you have this new person that's just joined? So there's the business wheel, which, again, I'll show you where the business wheel is. If you go to Keith Hall's website, which Keith Hall, for those of you that don't know, is one of our uplines, and his website is www.ourglobalsuccessteam.com. And if you go under his link up here that says the system, and you choose the one that says plug in, there's a picture of him down here, and under it says learn more. And this is his business system. here's the wheel. And this is what we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks. So you start off with step one, join the team, which is what we talked about today. Again, categorize them into the two different groups, the business builder or the product user. Move on to developing your list, and the list is your list of 100 people that you can talk to. There's a webinar that we did a few weeks ago that's recorded, that's available to you. Step 3 is the invitation, learning how to make a really good invitation so that people will join you at different events and discussions. So that, again, we have a webinar. It's all taped. You can share that with your team members. Then the 4th one is the presentation. There's a webinar for that as well so that you can watch it, rewatch it, practice. And then a couple weeks ago we did the close. Again, webinar available for everybody. And next week we'll do step 6, the strategy session, and then we'll be done with the business wheel. So for those of you that aren't sure where to go to find the webinars, you go to YouTube. And I have a channel on YouTube. My name is the DigiGal. So if you go to the DigiGal channel, so if you go up into the search and you type the DigiGal, and it's going to try to take you to the digital. So it tries to send you to all of these other ones because it doesn't know what, it thinks it's wrong. But you just keep saying, I want to search for the DigiGal, and it will come up. It's right here. So type it in the search. When it asks you if you spelled it wrong, click the little button that says, no, that is what I wanted. And then this is the channel. And if you click on the videos, you can see all of the different videos. And the ones we're talking about, I call them core skills. So core skill, the close, core skill, the presentation, core skill, invite, and core skill, this is the list. I call it gathering contact. I thought that I liked the way that sounded better. So there's the 4 of them. And then shortly after this one's completed recording, I will put it up there so that it will be available for you too. But for those of you that haven't been out here, I have quite a few videos that we've recorded and put out here for people. So you can subscribe to the site so that whenever I put a new video out, it'll send a message to you. And I put all of the good team training things that we've done. I stick them all out in here. Here's compensation training. The difference between preferred customers and distributors, how to sell CEO kits, and there's lots of great stuff here. This is the one that Sherry Meisner did on the basic studio training and her boot camp. So lots of stuff for you to learn and share with your team. So again, the YouTube channel is the DigiGal, and you can subscribe to it so that you don't have to keep looking for it every time. And when you subscribe in YouTube, it just puts your subscription down on the side here so you can click on it easier anytime. So does anybody have any questions about any of this right now? Or are you guys doing okay? All right. Well, this week we had a really short training. So again, next week we're going to talk about the strategy session. And if nobody has any questions, then we got away with a half-hour webinar today. I love when that happens. I'll open it up for 1 more minute in case anybody has any questions about the sign-up process. And if not, then we'll go ahead and stop the recording. All right. Thank you guys all for joining, and I look forward to talking to you again next week. Bye.